Chapter 2. Bandits. After the Mariarden massacre, resistance forces ceased their open defiance, fearing reprisal from the Imperial Guard. Instead, the resistance started attacking small Imperial security forces across the continent. The Empire has been unable to restore public order. Thieves are taking advantage of the situation, forcing the Emperor to send Kaiba to restore order in the Empire. The Emperor gave the Imperial Guard direct orders to subdue a particularly nasty group called the Bandits. The Bandits seem to be focusing their activities on Vaxi Island, which appears to be glowing green. That's pretty dangerous. There's something wrong with that. I don't think it's radioactive, but we cannot give these thieves their run of the Empire. We must stop them. I suppose you have a plan? We will pretend to be a supply unit transporting goods along the Central Way Road on Vaxi Island. If we make it look like we're unprotected, they're sure to attack. That's when we turn the tables on them. It should be easy for one of your talents. Humph. That reminds me, I believe you received some items in our last engagement. You can use those items by equipping the monsters with them. Just remember that you can't change your mind once you send a monster into battle. When preparing for battle, think carefully about which item you give to which monster. Red 2 standing by, all four lit and in the green. Welcome back to YuGiOh the Falsebound Kingdom. Last time things were a bit of a disaster for poor old Marthas, who presented us with one of the worst battles I've possibly encountered. After his absolutely shoddy show, we can wind up equipping our teams with better items. I will also be able to take items off monsters we haven't used. I'm going to stick with Dark Plant because Dark Plant is the entertaining joke character in a sense. It's not very good. It can poison enemies, but poison is probably the worst status condition of the lot, which is a bit bothersome. But it will do all right, all things considered. What? Now, here's the question. What do we get as level 1 magic? And we'll keep a Dian Keto on it. What sort of level 1 magic do I get? I don't even think I have any level 1 magic, because that's usually stuff like, blasted, what is level 1 magic? Anyway, Martha's team is outfitted and is probably slightly less crap than it was in the last episode. Mokuba's team has done alright. Kaiba's team has done alright. So, we will be facing the Bandits. I'm not going to change very much on Marthas. You're going to find out why soon enough. But it's pretty clear that Kaiba doesn't like this obsequious toady. Actually, what I should do is temporarily take Dark Plant off the team, and we'll see which monsters have items. We did get Berfamet. We've got Ryukushin powered as well, which is worth using. Give me a little time to check through for items. So there we are. We've now got everything sorted out. And Martha's team is just sort of there. It'll be helpful if we need him. But we'll be ready to move on to the next battle, where we will be taking on a group called the Bandits. Now, I think you can guess who might be involved in this one.
Hey, isn't that Kaiba, head of the Imperial Guard? Oh no, no one said he was gonna be here. Do something, boss. I'm going to. I don't care what my script says, I'm going to beat Seto Kaiba. In America. Boss, wouldn't it be a better idea if we beat him here too? Be quiet. I've told you this before. Every country in the world belongs to America. And Americans always win their battles. Even the ones we kinda didn't in history, we always win. How did I get stuck with this? That's the spirit, boss. And don't you forget it. In America.
So, we are taking on Bandit Keith and Bones. We don't have a lot to do because, as you will see, it's just these two. Sid and Zygote don't appear. We'll send Mokuba over here to Diethro. Marthas can go off on duty over here. We don't have any new monsters to get, so we can probably add in a few profiles here and there. But you will recognise this particular area from Chapter 3 of Yugi's story. Fortunately, we don't have to set anything on fire. It shouldn't take too long, and on top of that, part of Mokuba's team is very well equipped to actually handle Bones. This really shouldn't be a very taxing mission. It's a bit of a breather in all fairness. You're very much eased into this, whereas Yugi has some fairly serious challenges along the way. So, we've liberated Diethro. We have taken the fort. The few men the enemy left guarding the fort have also run off. Those thieves are going to try everything in their power to take the fort back. Should your finances allow it, you might want to consider strengthening the defenses with some equipment. I'm Seto Kaiba. I have more finances than you could ever imagine. Even just finishing this sentence, I've earned probably $100,000 or maybe more. But do go on. Okay, yeah, you'd better explain the equipment though. Equipment are offensive and defensive additions made to a castle or fort that provide an advantage in battle. For instance, you could install a large cannon to fire at approaching forces or construct a barricade. To install additions, position the cursor over the castle or fort and select Equipment. Then select an addition from the list with the A button and it will be installed. Of course, each new piece of equipment requires money, so plan accordingly. So, we will just build the barricade and a trader. Nothing new there. So I want to hold off Kaiba's main force. As you can see, Bones is approaching our position. His team is really not that much of a challenge. They're fairly decent, but his strongest monster is the snake hair. If I actually focus on him... hang on, where is he? Okay, now, he is a bit of a problem because he can inflict status effects. But it shouldn't be too much trouble for us to deal with. We will be able to work around those. We have the barricade up, Mokuba's team is good to go.
With you at my side, I feel like I can do anything, boss.
Boss? Yeah. Oh, this isn't gonna go well. So, we have a unit that moonlights as a Jawa. I use unit because I'm used to Cardfight Vanguard. So, Phantom D1. It's interesting to note that Eye of Anubis, as the series called it, winds up facing the screen, always. So, are they going for... They missed. Well done. Wow, that's a bit annoying. They're taking all the fire onto Blackluster Soldier. Ouch. So, Blackluster Soldier is just sort of sitting there. But you will get caught off guard a bit on account of the fact... Oh wait, hang on, it's a Darklands monster. Okay, Phantom D1 is a spellcaster in the actual game. That's what was throwing me off. But Millennium Golem can actually dish out criticals as a result of that. Good solid hit. Might as well take Phantom D1 out of the equation. So, if you actually have some good spirit monsters, Bones is a complete chump. he's not going to be a considerable threat apart from those status effects. So with the right team, you can wipe him out of the picture pretty easily. I mean, look at that. I should have gone for Midnight Fiend, it's the healer. But no biggie. Especially since the AI doesn't use status effects very well. Now, I tend to gang up on their strongest unit, or monster, and basically so do they. But they kind of have the problem that they won't distribute status effects very intelligently. Basically like you see me do with the Harpies. Alright, Midnight Fiend is wasting its time healing, that's good. Blackluster Soldier is just sort of standing there absorbing these attacks fairly well. And there we go. That should take care of the snake hair. Nice. Oh, good damage. Very good damage. Wait, do you get Castle Adept? Road Adept. Millennium Golem is just sort of there. Target and fire. I finally found out, and I've put it in the editing of Yugi's story about voltage and amperage. High voltage isn't necessarily dangerous. In fact, I think it's an it's an album. It's definitely a song by AC/DC. High voltage but very low amperage will probably be painful, but it's fine. That's essentially how electric fences work. They give you a bit of a shock, but they don't do any serious damage. Slight changes in amperage can be lethal. Always be careful around electricity. And there we are. Good levels. Good levels indeed. Marthas is wandering off. So there we are. Bones has been broken. And Seto Kaiba will take on Bandit Keith. We'll have a bit of wandering around. And I will just get to profiles after I've seen what's where. Ryu Kishin Powered made its international debut in Metal Raiders and Kaiba's starter deck. In Japan it debuted in the EX starter box, reappearing in Booster 7. Now Ryu Kishin Powered is mostly notable for looking absolutely nothing like the original Ryu Kishin, even though their names are similar. It's pretty clear that the powered aspect did something to it somewhere along the way, because it takes on a much more animalistic stance, doesn't look anywhere near humanoid, and even though it has those sharp talons, it basically attacks with an energy beam. It is worth noting there is also a clown version of the less powerful Ryu Kishin, though how that came about we'll never know. Maybe it lost a bet, or maybe it got into Tristan's homebrew and did something stupid. Either way, Ryu Kishin Powered is pretty useful in this game.
Do these Imperial dogs really think they can defeat me? In America!
So, I remember playing through this the first time and sincerely hoping that I'd be able to recruit Robotic Knight, because my logic was that we'd recruited a major monster from the first boss's team, namely Ryu Kishin Powered. I really hoped we got Robotic Knight because it's one of my favourite cards. I absolutely love it and I wanted to use it, and I was really glad we got the opportunity to in Joey's story. Interestingly, Keith never uses any of these monsters. Tristan uses Cyber Commander, it's stated to be his favourite card, and Nesbitt uses Robotic Knight as his deckmaster with a simple but direct strategy of discarding machines to deal heavy damage to his opponents, 500 for each machine he discards. There also have to be ways for him to replenish his hand, because otherwise he'd be a bit stuck. But that's just how it goes. Nobody, as far as I know, has actually used Dharma Cannon, and I'm not... Wow, Robotic Knight taking no prisoners. Respect the original. So, Cyber Commander's incredibly gaudy style has not done it any favours. It is notably not censored in its artwork in the OCG because, well, Japan doesn't do that. So what are we going for? I think we'll smack our way past Robotic Knight. And wow, that is trippy. So, when you come through this with a whole lot of powerful monsters from story mode, this is really not that hard. At all. You will have some pretty good options available to you. So these early chapters will be pretty simple and you can keep building up your teams. It's pretty simple all things considered, and it won't be that hard if you play your cards right when it comes to playing this first, because of course I did play that first, so I only had like Kaiba's basic team to work with. And I didn't know about traders and things like that. Nobody's actually bothered to attack Robotic Knight. Do they think it's on their team? Let's finish this off with a bang. And there we go. Bandit Keith is defeated. That is admittedly not a challenging level at all. With the right teams and well-trained monsters, you'll handle this easily.
That's far enough. Surrender now! You're not going to take me in. I'm going to escape and cause trouble again in America. Catch you later, if you're still alive, that is, in America. If you do that, I wasn't going to say in America this time, okay? But now I will, just to taunt you. In America. Boss, don't leave me behind!
We failed to catch the leader. Then his underling will just have to take twice the punishment then.
No, wait, please forgive me. I don't want to die. I'll work for the Empire if you let me live. Please!
Tch, the Empire has no need for your kind. The only thing the Emperor expects from you is your head on a platter.
I don't want to die. Spare me. Have mercy. Jeez, look at this poor guy. Don't you think we should save him, Kaiba?
I suppose so. He might prove useful.
What? He's guilty of treason against the Empire. If he is not executed, what becomes of the law?
What of the law? You destroyed for your own pleasure, not because the law demands it. I've made up my mind. I will accept responsibility for this man. Is that a problem for you, Marthas?
Kaiba!
I'm in charge here. Disobeying your commanding officer is a serious military crime if I'm not mistaken. You'll pay for this, Kaiba. Oh, you'll pay.
Thank you. My life is yours, Mr. Kaiba. I may not be very strong, but I am a marshal. I'll do anything for you.
Oh, by the way, Bones, whether his stats are fantastic or not, Bones can be a fantastic marshal with the right monsters. I will show you in due time, but we have completed Chapter 2 and gained a new ally. Until next time, this is Red 2, returning to base.